The unthinkable has occurred. Apple has finally unveiled the iPhone 15 with a dang USB-C connector. That's limited to USB 2.0 speeds. So actually, quite thinkable. I'm Riley Murdoch, this is TechLinked, and that was only half true. The iPhone 15 Pro supports USB 3 speeds with up to 10 gigabits per second, but not if you use the cable that comes with it, which only supports USB 2 speeds, because not even the European Union can crush Apple's spirit. They are still very Apple. So Apple's entire mobile lineup now uses USB-C, including the second gen AirPods Pro, and my favorite part was Apple explaining to iPhone diehards they shouldn't worry, because USB-C can do everything Lightning can do. It's really a nifty little jack. You may not have heard of it before. All of your poor friends use it. But as for the rest of the presentation, the new iPhone 15 and 15 Plus got a couple hand-me-downs from the iPhone 14 Pro, including the Dynamic Island, a 48 megapixel main rear camera, and the A16 Bionic chip. And they'll start at $800 and $900 respectively. But the new bells and whistles on the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max are their titanium construction, a customizable action button to replace the ring silent switch, a 5x optical zoom telephoto camera, and the ability to record spatial video that can be watched back from the comfort of Apple's Uncanny Valley simulator. The Pros also have the new A17 Pro, the first 3nm smartphone chipset on the market, complete with a Pro class GPU, which apparently means support for ray tracing and the power to play AAA console quality games like the Resident Evil 4 remake, Resident Evil Village, and Assassin's Creed Mirage in early 2024. I don't know about you, but when I think professional, I think phone gaming.
Elden Ring's just better when it's tiny.
Elden Ring would be perfect with more spreadsheets. The Pro models start at $1,000 and $1,200, and like the non-Pros, they come with 2 years of free roadside assistance using Apple's satellite services. We should also mention the Apple Watch Series 9 and Watch Ultra 2 with new S9 chips, a finger-to-thumb double tap gesture that's actually already been an accessibility feature for years, and new straps Apple is branding as fine woven, which sounds super weird to me, but I'm guessing Germans will love it.
Then it's pronounced Feenwolfen.
Feenwolfen. Intel has officially announced Thunderbolt 5, which sounds even more like a superhero team than Thunderbolt 4, but I couldn't tell you why. The Thunderbolt 5. They're very busy. Thunderbolt 5 still uses the USB-C connector, doubling TB4's bandwidth at 80 gigabits per second and tripling it to 120 gigabits per second with bandwidth boosting. And it can now serve 240 watts of power to Thunderbolt 4's 100 watts. It will also run a single monitor at up to 540 hertz, as many as 3 4K monitors at 144 hertz each, or multiple 8K displays for creators, because they find choppy video to be more artistic. According to Jason "The Killer" Ziller, head of Intel's client connectivity division, these beefy new cables might herald a new wave of external graphics, as well as AI accelerators and fast external storage. This may truly be one cable to rule them all, especially as it's built on the much worsely named USB 4 V2, and it's backwards compatible with previous versions of Thunderbolt and USB-C. Hopefully Macs and PCs alike get Thunderbolt 5 ports aplenty. After all, it was originally a collaboration between Apple and Intel before the love died and Intel got custody over the trademarks.
Apple still gets weekends.
California is now the third US state to pass right to repair laws for consumer appliances and electronics alongside New York and Minnesota. That's 2 of the country's most populous states, and also Minnesota. In some ways, the California bill goes farther than preceding bills by ensuring that manufacturers retain repair parts, tools, manuals, and software documentation, and make those available to customers and third-party repair services for at least 3 years post-production for products between $50 and $100. And that moves up to 7 years for products over $100. Manufacturers also can't charge independent repair technicians more for repair materials than they would within their own repair networks. Due to California's size and influence, these new regulations might have an impact on company behavior nationwide, but there are some caveats. The new law won't stop manufacturers from creating software blocks to prevent third parties from fixing devices or from combining single parts into complex assemblies that are more difficult to fix and more expensive to replace. Right to repair advocates have been optimistic, but expressed trepidation with the fact that Apple is a major backer of the bill, which is a bit like Hannibal Lecter coming out as a vegetarian.
Now it's time for Quick Bits, brought to you by DeleteMe, the company that specializes in keeping your personal data personal. Now, with a simple Google search, you can find hundreds of online profiles sharing your personal information without your consent, leading to annoying robocalls, scam emails, and a higher risk of identity theft. I don't want some scammer to find out how worthless my identity is. DeleteMe's software and team of experts will take care of opting you out of these people search websites. Instead of wasting hours of your time figuring out how to remove your data, all you need to do is spend a few minutes signing up for DeleteMe, and they'll do it for you. DeleteMe will even send you regular personalized privacy reports showing you what info they found, where they found it, and what they removed. So, if you want to get your personal information removed from search results on the web, go to joindeleteme.com/techlinked and use code techlinked for 20% off.
It is a truth universally acknowledged that an audience in possession of limited time and attention must be in want of some quick bits. France's national frequency watchdog has ordered Apple to stop selling iPhone 12s in the country because they emit too much god-dang electromagnetic radiation, causing everyone's politically radical relatives to experience a feeling of smug righteousness alongside their usual conspiratorial fear. Apparently, the specific absorption rate, the rate at which the body absorbs radio wave energy, of the phone is too high, and now Spain and Germany are considering similar actions. It's important to know that the set radiation limits are still well below the threshold of harm, so this is like when your mom sent you to school with elbow pads just in case homeroom got a little crazy.
I got a helmet.
Use your head. Back off, man. Microsoft released an update for the ancient app known as Paint last week, adding a background removal tool for select Windows 11 insiders. The removal tool can automatically detect the subject from the entire canvas, or users can specify it using the selection tool. When it was announced last month that Microsoft was adding AI to some Windows apps, many people thought Paint would get DALL-E-like image generation, but I also welcomed the opportunity to make my hastily drawn stick figures, really pop, just add that extra, just like boom, right there. A cybersecurity issue at MGM Resorts disrupted many of their American properties. ATMs and slot machines were shut down, leaving countless seniors unsure of what to do with their buckets of quarters. They don't trust banks, and they won't fit under the mattresses. Anyways, according to them, ransomware group AlphaV is responsible and used an ingenious attack method. AlphaV decimated a $33 billion company by calling their help desk and impersonating an employee they found on LinkedIn for 10 minutes.
I'm in.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Have a nice day. Amazon has launched a generative AI tool to help sellers write product descriptions, listing details, and titles. No longer will USB-C cord sellers need to develop carpal tunnel by manually entering every device that is feasibly compatible with their $8 cable. This follows last week when eBay unveiled an AI tool that can generate an entire product listing from one photo. Okay. Amazon also announced a service where they will pick up, ship, and deliver packages directly from factories for sellers. It's basically the negative clone of Amazon Prime. So if the two services ever meet, Jeff Bezos may explode. And Microsoft's original Surface Duo will no longer receive any OS updates or security patches, though it's surprising Microsoft even remembered they were supposed to update the phone's OS enough to give an announcement about it. Oh, that thing? Ooh. The Duo never had the most up-to-date version of Android during the 3 years it was supposed to receive OS updates. And the Duo was also infamous for its terrible cameras and bugs since its launch, so this week's news is basically that moment in those B movies where the scientist finally kills his failed genetic experiment that spent its whole existence in a puddle on the table saying, "Kill me. Why did you make me?" I went a bit too hard for that. And it'll kill me if you don't come back on Friday for more tech news. See, the YouTube view counter is hooked up to a bomb in my chest. At least that's what they told me when I woke up.